What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be going over something from the WeChat servers. Since, of course, the Android TapTap servers, the ones over in China, have the new update for both the Soul Temple and the Auction House. They did a little bit of a Q&A because a lot of the players had a lot of questions. They wanted to get better ideas of where the system was going, if certain things will be tweaked or changed as time goes on. So we have honestly, it's like 10 to 15 questions here with answers that'll give us a little bit of insight to what they're thinking with the system and what changes we could potentially see in the future as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Let's get going. Okay, so they said the Soul Temple and the Place of Business has been launched this past Wednesday on the Android official TapTap service. For some questions from many players, Lutz would like to transfer our plan to you and clarify some of the game modes. Now, let's see if there's anything you want to know. So, question number one coming in was, now open to the game, or now when you open in the game, there's a bunch of buildings and there's tons of crowding. Doesn't it not, or feels not very comfortable? They said they are going to be optimizing the actual layout and interface of the home screen. Chances are they're going to be shifting some stuff around. Maybe we'll see like a version 3.0 of our home world because it's changed a few times throughout the year. So as far as it feeling cluttered, I think they're going to do something about that, and it sounds like they are. Number two, the gift of star diamonds is within the same trading area. How is this trading area divided? For example, is TapTap one area the same as all the other servers? And it says, at present, the TapTap is one giant trading area. In the future, there will be multiple channels and one trading area according to the channel situation. So it's not very good translation because, of course, this is just Google Translate taking whatever they wrote, transferring it into English as best as they can. It sounds like because TapTap has fewer servers than, like, say, Android and iOS, they all have the same trading auction house, but it does sound like there's potential that there might be trading groups based on your server number. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that on Android and iOS. If they do break it down, they could break it into like 100 group servers, 200 group servers. I guess it just depends on how many active players are on each one of those server groups, but it does sound like there might be a situation where if it gets overpopulated, they might have to break it up. Question number three, is the attribute of the same hero after you use the attribute Awakening random, or will it become higher and higher? You know what? This might have actually been a question about those hammers that increase stats. I'm not quite sure, but it says Awakening stars are random, whether it is a hero or multiple entities of the same hero. So I wish I could have had a little more clarification on that one, but I feel like what they're trying to say here is that every stat is going to be random. Doesn't matter if you already rolled stats on another one. It's just going to be completely random as the time goes on. Next question is, the probability of getting S and higher qualifications is way too low. Almost 5 million tries are needed, and I want to know what the plan is for this type of system. Now, this answer I kind of agree with. I like this answer. I kind of read over it pretty quickly. The attributes of S qualification improvements are much smaller than that of the A qualification. The design also expects everyone to just pursue the A as far as mainstream players go. S is equivalent to providing a surprise experience similar to others. And then there's a follow-up question to that too. Will there be other props later to increase the probability of S? And they said, this has just been launched. We have no plans to do that at this time. Nothing like that. Essentially what they're saying is they expect most players to just go for A copies. S is just like this way outlier. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, that's fine. I think their design goal is to try to get everybody to be able to upgrade and get their stuff to A level. Beyond that is just like a gotcha high roll, like pretty much. And again, I'm not against that per se. I do wish the A roll was a little bit easier to get. The S roll, I can understand in a gacha game having something that's like the coveted 1 in 5 million roll type thing. It's fun if you get it. It's not as impactful if you don't, because there's not going to be a ton of copies floating around with S tiers. And then you could get it on like HP and not speed or something like that. It's different. It's weird, but I'm okay with it for the time being. Next question is, will there be other props later to increase the probability of getting to S? And that's the one we just talked about. That has just been launched. We have no plans for this at the moment. When will the new features be fully online and working? So it says in the future, it will be launched gradually throughout the servers. For example, other domestic channels will be updated first, and then other channels such as global servers and iOS will be updated. We strive to be able to launch the entire system by April, but we cannot rule out the possibility of delays, especially if we want to make changes. So it sounds like end of April, or at least sometime in April, we might be getting it. My first impression when this launched is this seems like a system they're going to wait 3 to 4 weeks before rolling out to iOS and Android global. So yeah, kind of on point there. Oh, next question. Is it possible how many times to get an A? No, each time the star is placed, it is completely random. So it sounds like people are asking if you can like save an A roll on a copy and then re-roll the other stats. No, if you re-roll a copy or something like that, I guess it just completely re-rolls the stats. Next question, second to last one. Will there be functions to replace a single qualification in the future? So that's kind of what I was just talking about, how you can have like an A in speed, but then your HP and speed are like are E tier or something. It says no, we hope the qualification positioning are relatively rare, and if you can find a way to place it, it will lead to depreciation in value of these copies. So yeah, it looks like it's just going to be completely random. There's no way to take like an A attack one and then re-roll just the speed up to A or S or something like that. And then lastly, because that would really heavily favor whales at that point. That way a whale could just re-roll the same item and get like an AAA, and then free-to-play are just sitting here like, well, I got lucky and get a 1B roll, but I can't do anymore. So I kind of like that idea of it. It kind of balances it a little bit. Granted, whales can just keep rolling more and more copies that they have, but at least it's not getting perfect stats. The last question is, it is too troublesome to use the task of placing the housekeeper to do new functions. You have to pay attention to whether there are more than 3,600. Honestly, don't know what this one is talking about here. It says we will optimize this part in the future. Do you guys know what this question is talking about? Because I read it a couple times and I just have no clue. It is too troublesome to use the task of placing the housekeeper to do new functions. Maybe they're talking about replacing, and that's what I meant. That would make sense because, of course, you know, replacing costs a lot of resources. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Either that or maybe they're talking about new plots of land for more housekeepers. I don't know. We'll see for Celestial Island. That one's a little off topic, but hey, it is what it is. And it says, in the follow-up, we will continue and plan to convey some of the questions and suggestions from the players in this experience so as to better optimize our game, and the players can also take the initiative to leave messages to LUT. So if you guys have opinions, anything like that, send it in game chat, send it to them, let them know. I pass a lot of feedback on to our actual game community managers. That's who I have a good relationship with, and then they pass it on to the devs. So yeah, we'll have to see how this shakes out. We should be able to expect it in 2 to 3 weeks, I'd probably say, somewhere in that ballpark. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time.